Yeah, that whole background is validating you as the authority. Like your story. Hey, I've been married 40 years.
When is your 40th anniversary?
40th is September 20th.
He's right.
We just had our 39.
He's going to do a surprise cruise for you.
We're going to have
to Europe. Let's go.
Let's do it. I'm there. Zach, you can't go. You just have to pay for it.
And the bear cruise with the osos. Is Zak going to be there?
Zak will go with you.
Zak.
I will be your bear. No, that's terrible. Stop it. Don't say that.
Stop it. I learned that last night, man.
We have a joke, Derek. He was sitting next to me, and he goes, I love the cold. I'm a bear. I said, dude, don't say that.
Yeah, that's
company. That's not what you want to say.
That's really gay.
Is it today?
Yeah.
You knew that as well?
No, I didn't. Zach taught me because Zach is one. I am not one. I'm only 40, so the hair's just starting to show up in weird places, like, it's on my ears now, it's on my back now. But like, you got to remember my first half of life that's down. I don't have the bear. The bear's now sprouting. So Zach had to educate me that. And he's the one with the experience in it and being a bear.
That's exactly what it is. I'm experienced.
I was noob. He had to acclimate me to the greatness.
I'm not having this conversation. I'm not in this conversation.
Eddie left.
Listen, can you schedule me? Because I'm going to obviously need therapy.
Oh, God.
So I think Dr. Eddie's going to need therapy after this podcast.
He's gonna.
I think we're good to go. We got him at his own game, man. I'll do the billing.
So real quick, and then I want to touch on something really cool. As a therapist, do you have a therapist?
Yes.
Okay. Because I know, like, my best friend's a chiropractor. He has a chiropractor.
Yeah.
And I have doctor friends who have doctors, and they all have to take care of each other. So I'm assuming you fall under the umbrella. You have someone who you can. Have you ever watched the show Shrinking?
No.
Oh, it's on Apple TV. Dude, look it up. It's hilarious. Harrison Ford. I forget the other guy who's in it.
I think he has to have a therapist because barbers have barbers and mechanics have mechanics. But think about this. Well, it's even more common sense than you're thinking, because all those other trades you actually can do on your own. You can work on your own car. You just don't want to. It's your job. You can cut your own hair, honestly, like if you have done it before. But it's pretty hard to justify talking to yourself in a mirror as a therapist. So I think that's healthy for you.
Yeah. People ask me to come to my backyard and stuff, and they'll sit in the patio and we'll hang out, and they're like, wow, did you put this fence in? I go, no. I mean, it's my fence, my company, but I had someone else do it. I'm not doing it. Exactly. That's definitely not my expertise. So I'm the fence guy with a fence guy. All right.
So what, if I may say this, one of the realities of someone like me having someone like me in my life is that everyone needs maintenance. Everyone, like your car, you take it to get it maintained, oil change, all of that stuff. And if we were to apply that same concept to our marriage and to ourselves,
right,
then we'll always be in an optimum place, right?
So, I mean, when I got into podcasting, if you don't know my background, I was in radio for a long time, and then I do voice work, and when I got into podcasting, I hired a coach, and my wife was like, "Why?" I said, "Well, when you go to the Olympics, you have to have a coach. You might be the best runner, but you still need someone to correct you and train you."
Yeah.
And I hired and Mark. We interviewed Mark on the show, and he's a great guy, phenomenal. And I was watching. He did a short today, and he's like, "Guys, I've been podcasting for 20 years, and I effed up today." He goes, "I had the best interview, and I forgot to hit the record button. 20 years, I've never done that before, and I forgot to hit, and he's like, so it's funny to see even my coach, make mistakes, but I learned a great deal from him, and it was when I was doing, when I got into voice work, I went to voice acting school, and they taught me to speak because I have a radio voice. So they had to teach me not to speak like I'm doing a commercial unless I'm doing a commercial, So when you hear my different voices and my different characters I play, like I played one the other night for a friend of mine, and it's my audiobook, and they were like, "Oh my gosh, sounds just like an audiobook. I go, yeah, it's my demo for an audiobook. They're like, that's amazing. That's the way. They're like, how did you know how to do that? I said, I went to school. They taught me how to do it. But you think in your head, I went to radio school. I was a broadcaster. I know how to crack a mic. I know how to enunciate. I know how to speak properly and all that other stuff. But until you really learn how to read, and it's a whole different thing. Like when I did my coach was in my headphones when I was doing my demos, and we did 15 of them, and it was like an all day thing, and I was exhausted because it takes so much out of you. But they picked only a certain of them because they were the perfect ones that they liked because they taught, and I listened and I followed instruction. And if you can't, then don't do things. That's why a coach needs a coach, a therapist needs a therapist, a tinter needs a tint. Like your guys tint your car, don't they, Derek?
Huh?
You wouldn't go to another tint shop, would you?
Why on earth? No.
But when you were getting into the business, you had a mentor who was helping you get in business, right?
No.
Your grandfather didn't teach you?
Yeah, that was before I got into. Yeah, for sure.
Not the tint business. I mean, business itself in general. You went to college and you got taught by your grandfather.
Yeah, I went into my own stuff on my own. But yes, if you want to say business elements beyond what you can experience on your own before you took that step, yes, mentor and informal education and experience. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
of course.
All right, I'm going to transition into this real quick.
It's accelerating your learning, whatever you're doing, having that person is just the only point of that person from a mentorship responsibility is just to make sure that their mistakes and solutions can be applied before you're going to have to make some of them yourself. But I mean, it can accelerate that wisdom. And so you getting it at 52, you can start getting it at 22 and build really quick, and start realizing I don't know shit. And you can learn because of it.
Correct.
That's good. That's great.
So everybody out there, always know there's someone who knows more than you, and you should latch onto them rather than push them away because they will teach you. When I got in the car business 1992, so what was that, 30-something years ago, I would sit next to the number one salesman and just listen and hoped by osmosis his mojo would float into me and then I would become the number one guy. But I learned his verbiage. I learned what he did and how he got people. So, that's how you learn. And even today, if I go somewhere, I'm going to find who the number one guy is and I'm going to learn from them.
And you still put the reps in. It's just, you're putting in the reps correctly.
Correct. That's why, like, if you go to the gym, you need a coach because I can go lift all day long. If I'm not doing it right, it's not doing me any good.
Exactly.
Actually, it does me bad because then my shoulder goes out.
You just get hurt. You just get injured.
I did. I did not ask Dr. Eddie for permission for this, but I'm kind of proud of him. So I want to. You guys got to find. He's got his book, brand new book from this day forward. It's on Amazon, correct?
On Amazon.
Go ahead and tell us about this book, Eddie. What prompted you to write it? Where did you get your inspiration to do? Right. He just gave it to me, so I haven't read it yet, but it's interesting. Anyway.
After dealing with so many different scenarios and couples throughout the years, and watching them either crash or burn or flourish, it started to be intriguing to me how the things that I was carrying, the things that worked for me, and the things that were common sense for me didn't translate to other people that way, right? And then I realized not everybody is us. And what's common sense for me is not necessarily common sense for you.
Right.
And so how do I now take all of this experience, all of these stories, all of these things that I've been using, that I've learned, that I'm teaching in a practical way? How do I put it together in book format? Because I've got knucklehead friends that have been telling me for years, dude, you got to write a book. Dude, you got to put this on paper. Dude, what you're teaching, what you told us, what you showed us, what's working, what's not working. You got to put it in a book form. And so I never considered myself a writer. I mean, I can write, but I'm not a writer. And I ran into It's a happenstance where I run into this guy that I meet through a friend, and he happens to be a ghostwriter. And so I said, "Man, how does that work?" And you know, he's done movies, he's published a whole lot of different things. And he says, "Why are you asking?" And I said, "Well, I'm interested in writing a book, but I want to make sure that I know how to format it right. I want to make sure that I'm not using redundant words or paragraphs, and I'm getting to the point." He says, "That's easy. I can be your pen and paper. So this is what we're going to do." He gave me his fee, whatever. I said, "Let's do it." So he comes over to the house. He sits on my couch. He opens his laptop and he says, "Okay, um, give me something that you want to that you use commonly that you want to teach on." I said, "Well, yeah, I want to teach on this." And so he starts asking me questions, just like a podcast. And while I'm talking, the dude's writing. Okay, okay, you say that again. Okay, I got it right. All right, and what about this? And for the next 2 hours, that was a dynamic. Right. So then he says, "I'll send you a rough draft of the first chapter tomorrow, or of a chapter tomorrow. I've got over 4,000 words." I said, "What?" He says, "Check the content out. Make sure it's what you're saying. Make sure it's in context. Make sure that it's your voice."
Right.
And he put it in a paragraph format with a title that was inspired as he was going back through it. And that's how we wrote the book. And it was phenomenal, dude.
How long does that take?
It took us probably, I want to say, a good 3 or 4 months,
Cool.
because we didn't do it every day, right? We do it once a week. And then I'd get inspired and say, "Man, I want to write about this. I came across this. I want to write about this." And so he says, "Okay, just let's have a conversation." We get on, you know, on Zoom or whatever, and he'd ask me a question. "Okay, give me your thoughts. What do you think about this? What would you say to this person? How would you teach this?" And then he put it in a format as well where he extracted his questions from the chapters, and we did a study guide. So at the end of the book, there's a study guide for every chapter. So it's cool.
What was your pouring out into the book? What was your favorite part?
Um, my favorite part is that I got to share my perspective and my point of view on the things that worked for my wife and I. Right, and then when the book came out, getting the cool emails and the cool text messages. Hey, and I have a friend that she's a childhood friend, and her husband picked it up to support. They have a beautiful, they have a beautiful marriage. And she says, "Dude, how'd you get in my head?" I had to read I think it was 13. I had to read chapter 13 like 4 times. You read my mail.
Wow.
And I was like, that's interesting. So to get that kind of feedback, it was cool as well. It was really cool as well.
So okay, so we can find the book on Amazon, correct?
Amazon, yes, sir.
From
Yes,
This
sir.
Day Forward by Dr. Eddie Rivera Jr.
Yes, sir. I'm a junior.
Is your son a third, or you didn't keep going?
No. I didn't go beyond me.
That's cool. No, that's very cool.
Yeah.
Derek, we got to get you a copy.
I already added it to the cart, so.
Attaboy.
Perfect.
And I, can get an autograph. I know the author. I can get you a signed copy for you.
Well, I like to what I like to do too to support is I like to leave reviews.
Oh man, I would love that.
That's what I always ask people with my business too. It's like, okay, not everyone wants to drop $600, but sign on and leave me a review for 30 seconds. I ask that of people, family and friends, and get me started, get me going here, because people read that. Like you just said it. Like she said, how would you get in my head? Right. I mean, because you drew off your own experience in your marriage.
That's
So
right.
now you have people do that for you in terms of provide feedback, and other people relate to that, and they purchase the book because of it.
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to write a follow-up to it, a sophomore?
At some point, yes. I'm not necessarily planning on it right this moment. There's some other projects that I have going that I'm aggressively pursuing. But at some point, yeah.
Do you feel when you wrote the book that it did it inspire you to want to do more, or was like, this was just too much?
No, it's like a drug, right? Once you get that finished product, and I read it like 3 or 4 times, and it's just like, dude, I don't even remember me saying that. I know this, but
Right.
did I say this at this point?
Well, that's the beauty in writing too. If you're actually, and a ghostwriter helps you with that, because you so like when I would write papers or anything in college, and they had to be 20, 30 pages, not like PhD stuff, but master's class. I would just literally immediately, I would, okay, here's a deadline. It's in 8 weeks. The next 2 weeks, I'm going to just make it so the second I get my inspiration juju point, I recognize it, and I just block off that entire night, and I just type what's on my mind for 30 pages, and then forget it for a week, and then come back, and you're like, I wrote this? That's really good. Oh shit, I forgot a period. Okay, cool.
That's exactly what
that's just what I was thinking. I wouldn't be able to think of that, like, if I was sitting there actively thinking, what do I say? It's like you have to wait for that moment of creativity. And I'm sure that when you get towards like the heavier or the more burdensome parts of the book, you might have that feeling, but it's just like winning a championship, right? You do all this hard work and you think, oh, I can't do this. And then when you win it, you're like, I can't wait to get started to do this again next year, because like it's like it overcomes all of that. That, like you said, Zach, like, do you feel like, oh, it was so much work? I'm sure you did at some point. Maybe you did at some point, but you didn't feel like that once you got the book out and people wrote, gave you notes. If you did feel like that, I'm sure it was, you were overcome with the opposite direction of, hey, I want to keep doing this, right?
Yeah, and it got overwhelming at a point towards the end, but you just got to push. You got to push.
Well, and it's fun. It's good to hear. You've read it a bunch of times. It's kind of like, and I don't say this in a ego way, but I watch my videos all the time because I do it more from a critiquing point, or I'll actually go, "Ooh, what the heck was I talking about?" Because I want to make sure. Because I do those short videos now.
Yeah,
I try and do a 3-minute video at least once or twice.
No, I will be doing those. Clarify, because you duplicate bulk schedule.
No. My short.
Oh yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah. You're authentically
yours.
Love Jermaine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And anyway, I'll rewatch those because I gotta make sure, because one of the things Lorianne will call me out on is if I don't really have anything to talk about, I'll just talk in a circle and big fluff. And it sounds all well and good. She can spot it. Now, other people might not be able to, but she'll spot it and be like, all right, you're a little fluff here. You got to stop. Figure it out before. And, so I'll watch it and correct it. And I'm probably my toughest critic too. And especially like when I do voice work, I'll stop. I got to do it again. My head's not in the game. Give me a second.
But when it comes to stuff like this, I mean, Dr. Eddie, there's a lot of people in entertainment who say they don't watch their own stuff. They don't watch their own movies. They don't want to, because honestly, like, I get what you're saying, Zach. Like, you actually kind of like, hey, did I do a good job? Wow, I can't believe I said that. That was really good. Or critique. But at the end of the day, like, this is about what actually is on your heart. Like you can critique yourself and say, I should have done that. But it's not authentic enough, right? Like, at the end of the day, this is going to be a short of us right now. I'm going to be like, wow, I just opened my eyes. Like, who cares, dude? Like it's coming from where I'm feeling. So it looks good. It looks good if it's authentic, and it doesn't look, like, if you look stupid, but it's authentic, you look good. It's like if you have like a pink shirt and pink pants on and you like think it, like you like it and everything, and it looks stupid, guess what? Because you're wearing it like that, it looks good, right? So like it's just like it's how we wear these things too, not necessarily like, oh, I should have worded it like that. I should have like if it was in the moment, it was in the moment, man. Like
I'll
it's
throw
good.
it at you. I did
raw.
I spoke at my mom's memorial.
Yeah.
And I've watched the video a couple times, and I said there was so much more I wanted to say. And my wife will correct me, and she's like, "You said exactly what was supposed to be said at that exact time."
Absolutely.
I was like,
by the way,
I forgot this.
You did a great job. You did a great job. You're natural.
I think
just
it's cool. I think
Daniel
cool
actually, Daniel called me and he was like, "Dude, why you got to make me cry?" So I didn't realize I was going to make him cry. But
is that taped somewhere?
Yeah, I can send it to you.
Send me a link to it.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I do think there's value to that. Like if you take a speech class, if I watch myself and I'm saying like and too much, that's not proper. That's not the way to captivate. That's not the way to tell a story. So I think there's some technicalities and stuff, obviously, that are kind of best practice, when writing too. You don't do run-on sentences and you don't do passive sentences. You keep things kind of direct and progressive. So I think there's value to it. I just really think that I keep saying I think, but I really believe I do think once in a while, but I do believe that like when you're spilling what comes up through you without filtering too much, it's usually good. Even if you're being
authentic,
a dick.
like you said, it's authentic and it's in the moment, right?
Yeah.
And that moment is gone forever. So
if you can't premeditate it too much, then you've got to be feeling it to say it.
Well, and here's the funny thing: the pastor, once you watch it, you'll see. The pastor pulled me aside afterwards and he said, "That was amazing." He's like, "Great job." He's like, "You didn't even have notes or anything." I said, "Bro, I didn't even know what I was going to say till I walked up." Now, that's kind of a lie. I had in my head kind of something like in the shower. I was going over some things in my head I wanted to touch base on, but it didn't come together till I actually walked up. And that's how, when I do public speaking, that's how, unless I'm doing a really long, something public for a long time, then obviously I'll take notes and have outlines. But something short and sweet, I don't know. Just like when I do Authentically Yours, I have a highlight what I'm going to talk about, and then I just go. And I think that's why, when you write a book or when you do whatever, if it comes from the heart, you're right, that's more meaningful. And you can critique it all day long and beat yourself up, but it came from the heart, so it's right.
Well, it's like, did you love your mom?
No.
So yes. So now when you get up there
I adored my mother.
Is what you were spewing reflecting that, and it will. So then it's good, even if you said the stupidest stuff. Like if people knew it was love, then they were going to be like, "Wow, that is moving."
Then the greatest thing, if you go past my sister, my daughter talks, and she was supposed to have written a poem, and she could not come up with one. She's a poet; she writes poems, and she has her own Instagram site and does a whole bunch of poems. And she said she was going to put a poem together for my mom, and she didn't. She just got up and talked. And I think she was better than everybody else. And if you see her and watch her, she has the same swagger as I do. I laughed because I was watching her. I'm like, it's like watching me. She's making everybody laugh. She's goofy. The way she was, it was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
My sister did a good job. Don't get me wrong. She talked too long. No, I'm just kidding. She'll never see this, so I'm not worried about it.
You're going through and critiquing it. You've inspired me. You inspired me, Zach. I'm gonna start doing.
I'm sitting there watching her. I'm like pointing at my watch. Shut up, dude. No, I didn't do that at all.
I'm gonna start doing bi-weekly Authentically Mine.
You can.
Since yours is
Authentically Yours.
Authentically Yours.
I'm Zach. I got your back.
That might work though. That's a contrast. That might work. You might be on something, Derek.
I'm gonna pretend like I'm some
dude. When I came up with that, and I don't
raging
know where it came
communist
from. When I said Authentically Yours, I'm Zach and I got your back. My wife's like, "You are absolutely silly. Just what is wrong with you?"
There was a comment on that when you said, "I'm Zach, I got your back," but I'll let you read it.
Oh, I didn't. Which one was it?
I can use my imagination.
Eddie, I'm kidding.
Oh.
I was going to say it said, no, I'll.
I can imagine. I can use my imagination.
Whatever.
I mean, you're a bear.
All right, I got you.
Back.
Sorry.
That's pretty good.
Oh, the light bulb. Did you see the light bulb go? Oh, my Christmas. Well, gentlemen, it has come to that time. Derek has to go run with his wife Does she chase you or do you chase her?
Ha! I won't even be able to keep up, dude.
Really?
Oh, I'm exhausted. She'll run 8. I'll walk 5 or 6 tonight. I'm not. The knees are screaming at me.
Wow.
Maybe I'll break it up into 5 1-milers or something, but it ain't gonna be no smoke show tonight.
You guys know my buddy Bob.
Yeah.
He's one of those ultra runners.
Oh, how?
He wants to do this one marathon up in Cape Hatteras. It's like 250 miles or something.
Those are the kind of people where like their toenails are falling off and stuff. Like this is nasty. David Goggins
what is wrong with you, bro?
I
don't even want to drive 250 miles.
What's crazy is like it's all about the mental or physical, and that's a true statement that carries you through. But I'm gonna be honest with you, like after a marathon, my body would literally like fall apart. I mean, like literally, like I'm gonna fall over nauseous with like razor blades coming out my pee. Like I just can't. I'm so so. I don't know how they do that. I mean, I know what they do.
What's your farthest you run?
I did a marathon.
What's that? 13?
No, 26.2.
26. Okay. Oh, half marathons. Yeah, 13. Sorry.
I would never do it again. I've done probably dozens of half marathons, and that's okay too. But I don't know. I mean, they do it mind over matter, or whatever you want to call it, and it works. But you'd be injured for matter. I couldn't hardly walk for weeks afterwards, much less run for months. And I can't imagine 200 miles. It's like I feel like your genetics have to be something too to allow you to do that. Because I'd be in a wheelchair for 6 months.
Yeah, well,
no matter what shape I'm in.
We're gonna have him on the show one of these nights, and we can go in depth about that.
Oh yeah.
We're not doing a show next Thursday because it's Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody! But we're gonna do a show Tuesday. We've got a coach coming on. His name is Anthony Sparks. Great guy. I've chatted with him. He was supposed to be last week, and then I had the power outage, so there was nothing I can do. Dr. Eddie, thank you so much for being a guest. I think we're going to make you a regular.
Thank you, Derek.
We're going to have you on. Maybe we'll just do once a month sessions with Dr. Eddie.
That'd be cool.
People can write in and give us stuff that we can talk about, and we can help people out.
You guys could smoke cigars during the podcast. Think about that.
Not in my house.
Come on, man.
Unfortunately, that's not allowed in my house. Now, okay.
Change those rules.
Don't get me wrong.
Show them who's boss.
Talked about setting up a podcast at the cigar shop.
Yeah.
And I've also been discussing with. You met Corey, right?
Don't know who you're talking to right now.
Eddie, sorry, Eddie.
Yep.
Yeah, that's my dude. That's my guy.
I'd like him to. I said I want to set it up where I can do it outside, and he's like, "That's easy, man." And I think we could sit around my fire pit and we could do that one time. That'd be pretty cool. Because I think here's the uniqueness to it. And I think I've said this before, Derek. Outside, you get the noises. There's nothing we can control. The dog barks. The horns go off. I don't care. That's the ambiance of it.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe we'll just do like an after dark.
Probably the first thing all night I agree with you on. That's really awesome.
Thank you.
That's a joke.
And we're working on a podcast. We're actually working on another podcast with a couple guys out of the cigar place. So I'll let you know when that's going to be coming out. But Eddie, we're going to have you back on, obviously, more often than not.
Thank you.
Anyway, happy Thanksgiving, guys. I'll see you guys Tuesday. Thank you all for watching. Please check us out. We're on all the socials, X, YouTube, No, I said X. I was going to say Twitter. Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. We are also on all the audio platforms. So if you don't like looking at our faces, go listen to our voices. Anyway, thank you very much, and you all have a great night. And as always, peace.
Peace out.